You touched on wage increases and wage negotiations just now. The Nigeria Labour Congress is asking for more money for workers. Is this going to be possible, given the situation on ground?
Yes, because one should subscribe to the logic of market. There is no any other commodity in the Nigerian market that the price has remained the same for 12 months. Official statistics tells us, even though we think they are highly underestimated, that inflation rate is now around 8%, 9%. So if inflation is at 8%, 9% for 2-3 consecutive years, it means concurrently the purchasing power of the Nigerian workers has to that extent suffered a huge loss. It makes rational economic argument to say that that drop in purchasing power should be compensated for. The business of unions is to maintain the share of working people out of the national income. You cannot accept a situation in which landlords can increase their rent and nobody asks any question. The price of textiles goes up, nobody asks questions. The price of rice, of kerosene, of everything that you consume goes up, nobody asks questions. You, who is simply a wage earner, for you to balance your budget, if your costs are going up and your own income is frozen, then you are in crisis. So I believe Labour is not wrong in arguing that there have been a lot of pressure on our income and therefore we need to be compensated. Number two, you have devalued the currency by almost 33%. When you devalue currency, people with fixed assets, like housing, your net worth in Naira terms goes up. But people who earn wages, their income has been devalued. When the cost of living increases, if people had to maintain some stability in their lifestyle, their wage has to also increase. The last devaluation did some violence to the purchasing power of the Nigerian worker. At the time, 80,000 naira was adopted as minimum wage. The exchange rate was about 120, 130 naira to the dollar, which meant that 80,000 naira was about $120 a month. Right now, that 80,000 naira is less, even at official exchange rate, is less than $100. So it is the primary business of labor to insist that the worker get their share.
But there's clearly a dilemma here. What's the way out? Should we be laying off some people and retaining some and increasing their wages, or should we just maintain the status quo?
There can be no one straightforward prescription for everyone. But I think that in terms of what you need to deal with immediately, we should not accept as a given that the fraud in the oil sector is a given. So, first, deal with that. Take money from thieves who don't work and pay to those who work. That is possible. It doesn't require rocket science. And what has been stolen, recover it and put it back to the national till.
You have identified that one of the big problems we have is the fuel subsidy, the amount of money that is being paid for subsidy.
Not for subsidy, that is being stolen in the name of subsidy.
That is being stolen in the name of subsidy. Okay, yeah. Well, that's a very important clarification. Should we remove subsidy on petroleum products?
I think what I will say here is that, first, what I can say right away without any further analysis is that stop the stealing in the name of subsidy. And it can be stopped. It wasn't always here with us. So when you stop it, we will know what is left, and they deal with that. Because Nigeria like the quick prescription. Not just the stealing in regards of subsidy. There are a lot of other huge leakages. I mean, the money that the various agencies collect that is not coming to the treasury. There's so much that you need to look at. I think I want to leave this issue to the president. I think by now the president should have a clear overview of what the issues are. And he now is in a position to obtain hard fats. And on the basis of what he has seen, and the additional good news is that this president was a former petroleum minister. So it's not exactly a stranger, although so much has changed between then and now. For example, I don't accept that Nigeria has to base our long-term policies on importation of products. We should stop importing products. We should find a realistic solution to the ownership and management of our refineries. NNPC cannot manage these refineries. I have seen already now the typical thing that NNPC people do. They are beginning to say, in the next 3 months, Port Harcourt refinery will come under production. Just like that? Is it Jonathan who stopped it? Why are you now going to be able to start? Then 2 days ago, Warri refinery in 2 weeks, we start producing. Really? What are they doing now that they stop doing under Jonathan? For me, the implications are clear to me. And once they convince him that they can run the refineries, they approach it with a shopping list. We need $2, $3, $4 billion to do turnaround maintenance. And then more money will be going to these unserviceable vehicles. And then people begin to help themselves. And then they begin to suck in a lot of people in the federal government. Once they begin to suck them in and begin to spread the disease, the issue becomes more complicated. My argument is, before we even talk about this, we have to have a holistic approach, not piecemeal. These refineries, NNPC can't manage them. Sell them off. Wherever they are, Kaduna, Port Harcourt, Warri, sell them off. You sell them off, those who buy them, if they want to make money, they have to put them to use. If they shut them down, then they suffer idle capital. But in the Nigerian public sector, to keep up pumping money to these refineries is to just give people avenue for self-help. When you've done with all of that, it has to be a whole-scale policy. I don't want my prescription to be based on, just abolish subsidy, business as usual. No, sir. You have to go further than that and deal with the entire question, in the oil sector. I think that when the president settles down and he asks for my views on this issue, I will, on Bible, speak my honest opinion about this. But right away, I think he needs to have a holistic approach and deal with this crisis in the oil sector once and for all.
You will not tell me what your honest opinion is on this?
No, I have spoken on what I think is very, very clear to me. What is not too clear, I will need to sit with the president and share my thought with him.
Governor,
after I've had the opportunity of learning from him what he has found out.
Governor Oshiomhole, we thank you for your time, sir. And we thank you for watching. Please follow me at ModeleSY and tweet me your thoughts on my conversation with the Comrade Governor, or leave your comments on our website, channelstv.com, where you'll also see previous editions of the program View from the Top, and this one as well if you missed part of it. I hope to see you again sometime soon, and I thank you again for watching.